Action for joining space time. So we got 4 people already. Let's see what's the time as. All right, ads needs to be 1 in 13 minutes. So I'm going to run an ad break right now. So take a break. Go get a snack or something, and we'll be back after this. Weekends and ads allow 1 hour of non-interrupted stream, so that's why I do that. All right. So and I'm gonna post around information. Oh, there it is.
All right, everybody. This is Chanchai, and right now Akai is doing the open leagues. He did a special sparring session earlier, which was really cool. Um, basically,
For the fall lucky whites, I'll say that after.
there was J Thor and Silverbolt and Kung Fu Hustle. They were all training, mostly J Thor and Silverbolt at first. And I personally think that on Tuesdays, Akai should actually keep it all like single A, all developing players. I don't think he should do the open league on Tuesday nights, like even after, but that it's gonna be up to him. But I think the amount of time is sufficient, is like plenty. I think like these players that are here, Kung Fu Hustle, Silverbolt, Space Time, J-Thor, I think they all wanted to just kind of have a training time that was more focused on them. I think putting the open league on it is kind of, it made sense in the past on the Sundays, right? Because that was a mainstream day. But I think if we're gonna do a weekday, I think it's kind of better to have one day that's dedicated to it. And I think if players feel that way, they should let them know. Um, I think when you do that, then you can keep it on theme, right? In the past, Open League was only one day a week in the past. Because of that, that made sense to kind of have this split, right? But I think now, if we're having different days that we're doing it, and we're doing like maybe it sounds like 2 or 3 days of Open League, then I think it's fine to have this Tuesday be just the developing players, just the practice league or single A or whatever we're going to call it, but the ones that are aimed at players that are trying to improve their fundamental skills, you know? So, um, I may jump onto the Discord to talk to Akai about that and to have players talk about if that's what they want. Of course I want to play in the league. I'd like to play the league today, but I also know that there were players that were set on this. So, would you like me to join Discord? So I'm asking Akai if he'd like me to join the Discord. And it's okay if he wants to be solo tonight. Normally that's the case. But I would just kind of say what I just said here. Good to see you, Princess. Hope you're doing really good. Um, but yeah, it's one of those things where I think this group would really like to develop.
Hey, Chacha, yeah, sure. You're more than welcome to do the Discord. Let's see, am I on Discord? I am not on Discord. Let me do that quickly. I'm not sure if the bug has been fixed. Since Sega hasn't actually said anything, I'm assuming that the bug is not fixed yet. But we'll start the countdown of 5 matches.
All right, it's good to see you. Kai, can you hear me okay? Hoping everybody...
Yes, I can hear you.
People in the chat, if you can hear me, please let us know. Yeah, people in the Twitch chat, let me know if you can hear my voice. Yeah, I was wondering though. Of course, I'm happy to play as many open leagues as possible that I'm able to, but I did want to bring it up that Right now, I think originally when we did single A being like this first hour, and we kind of split the time, and then you would have like the open league on the Sundays. I think that made sense
Mm-hmm.
when it was just Sundays was like your only day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's still definitely up to the people, the viewers, and yourself about what might be the best way to go about like this because I think this Tuesdays being like a development day, if it was like dedicated really for the players that are developing like the practice league or the single A, I'm honestly thinking that's actually pretty cool because that sets up more of a consistency thing. It might be more relaxed for you on your Tuesdays, but it's also but I'm still cool with it being an open league, after the first hour or so. But I think it's actually in the current structure. I think you have 2 or 3 North American Open League days already. Um, I think 3, not counting the Tuesday.
Two.
Just 2. Okay.
I'm doing
Friday and Sunday.
Friday and Sunday.
Oh, okay. All right. But
Today I was not going. Oh, go ahead.
yeah. So I was just kind of just putting up to suggestion that you might want to ask not just of course today's group, but other groups as well, like what they might think on that because I think a lot of these players, I have a feeling that they're hungry for more, uh, sessions where the single A level is able to work on stuff as a group more. And I have a feeling that they're really liking this, like what you were doing today. And I know that I was liking it, watching it. And again, I'm happy to jump into the open league, but I'm also like, man. But now when I'm in the room right now, I'm like, this really feels like a day for those guys, And I'm happy if it is because I think it enriches their experience. So I just wanted to give it as food for thought.
It's more. Oh, it's more that the open league is done right now is because last week I was lazy to take the whole week off.
Right.
Just enjoy some just doing nothing.
No, it's good to take the whole week
so
off.
I
Yeah.
yeah, so I didn't have time to get everything ready. But yeah, open league is just like I say, keeping it the same as on Sundays.
Uh-huh.
We see a benefit of having open league on a weeknight. Like
Yes,
for example,
absolutely.
they only participate on weeknights instead of weekends.
I agree 100%.
So we leave Friday just for open leagues, and Tuesday is basically just unique stuff. So basically trying things out.
Okay.
So yeah, I think like the practice session. I know Jato has mentioned and Civil did say some stuff that they think is good. But I think the practice session seems to work best like after the regular events and stuff.
Okay.
So what we're referring to as regular events.
Yeah.
Single A.
Yeah.
So like single A is specifically is competitive, but
Okay.
for people of similar skill level. So single A is basically like right now what we have here, but without Manok and Chanchai.
Right.
Even maybe Kung Fu Hustle might not be considered because Ace using his main character.
Right.
But that's another story too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's 2 things that we could do. One is specifically for like catering toward the not as the experience of like Crazy Drunk and you guys are not allowed to participate in single A.
Right.
But it's basically a competition for all the people of those closer skill level.
Right. Yeah,
right?
People that are working on more of their fundamental skills. Everyone's working on their fundamental skills, but single A is working on more of their fundamental skills.
Awesome, it'd be awesome if we could do a single A in which we get a full 16 players in there, right? I think the most we had is 8 players. It was nice to do that already.
I'll put my feedback to Crazy Drunk. Crazy Drunk, we've actually said that we only count the main characters when we're counting player skill level because it gets there's a huge skill gap when like Crazy Drunk for you especially, like there's a huge skill gap between your worst character and some other people's best character. So there's a huge fundamental skill gap. So we just kind of count just the main, and we kind of avoid, or I recommend avoiding that that technicality altogether because there is a fundamental gap, and a lot of people in single A are just trying to have a place to really iron out their fundamentals even more, right? But yeah.
So single A is So single A, you guys could think of it as beginner to intermediate level competitive play. And the practice session that we just tried to do experiment with J Thor and Silverbolt, and then Kung Fu Hustle coming in as a third player. It was something that I think focus is education. Hey, welcome Ben says. So we got 7 plays already. Awesome. All right. But the main thing is like I think we were talking about this like a week ago.
Yeah.
How I should try to promote it give a lot of time to promote it, right?
Yeah.
Which I did not, since
Right.
I was lazy.
It's okay. You were taking time off. I understand too. But
yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, with this particular demographic, it is good to. I mean, I was privately low key promoting it. So if you're wondering, like, I just privately messaged a bunch of people too, and in some of our discords that are more, that are kind of more of this type of group, I just kind of mentioned to all of them that you're doing this.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. So, like, for example, it could also be because I didn't have time to prepare to discuss with the European league portion yesterday.
Right.
And so, and there's also, I think, an issue with Europe, though, is that language barrier. Like, not everyone speaks English.
Yeah.
And actually, a good amount of the people who participate speaks a different language, and we're just trying our best to communicate at times.
Yep.
To get the leagues going. So I'm not sure how much interest they have in doing the invitational stuff, tier leagues, and like a practice league session, at least at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So at least I'll see what other feedback they have or so, but maybe for them it's just going to be like 3 days of open league sessions. But again, like I say, I'm catering as much as possible to what the demographic wants.
Okay.
But so again, for beginners come and basically coming to become intermediate level players, single A is a competition. We could have 16 people in it at most, and then the practice session we'll limit it to 4 players at a time, because then we could run it as a simultaneous league. And so people will have a break in between their matches, and that's when we could talk and learn and discuss and ask questions as well. But it might be even too quick still. But we'll mess around to find out what works and what not works. You got 2 more matches go before we begin the first league. Passcode is 0109, which is today's date. I'm going to give open league portion. So those who want to join, please do.
So a couple tips here. One, Jeffrey, sometimes when he does his 2 or 3 hit strings, especially like that elbow into overhead smash, right? But also other similar 3 hit strings like ending an uppercut, he's usually about -13. So what you can do is you can practice your PK punish against that first, just to see if that's what it works. And so for most people tonight, when you're blocking, especially like this elbow into overhead smash with 2 arms, you should try practicing your PK punish and then work your way up from there. That's tip number 1. Also, Zas was wondering about how I would assess his skill level, and though I know Zas, when he was really playing like a lot, had reached a very good, strong level, I would say I'm comfortable with him playing in single A's right now, but then probably graduating after he wins a couple leagues, because I think there's a lot of stuff he's working on a fundamental level, but it's also I think some of the newer generation might surprise him how strong they actually are, even though we're categorizing them as single A, right? So I think it's just all good experience, but he is one of those cases where it's a little tough to measure until he's actually playing in it. So yeah, because he is actually quite a good player. This does have to be Ultimate Showdown because this league mode is only on the PS4 version of the game. If Ultimate Showdown ever comes to PC, that would be awesome. Though technically it kind of is emulated on PC actually, but that mode is really hard, and I don't think that mode is even compatible with this because it's just the Japanese arcade version. So.
All right. So again, the idea, so there's single A. Again, there's the plan of doing a double A and triple A. And so triple A is easy right now. Basically, we just use the results from last year. So anyone who got a first place finish in the fourth quarter has an invitational ticket to participate in triple A. All right. How many matches is it? Let me look. One match remains. So this is the last match before we begin.
All right.
Let me see if I can get that right. So let's see if I can get that list.
Round one. Ready, go!
Yeah. So if your name is on this list here, and whatever character you use, you get a ticket to participate in AAA. And the idea to make it more interesting, and this depends on if people actually want to do this. Like let's just say, for example, Banach, he is the champion right now because he had the most first place finish. Okay, so let's just say he is the champion. He sits on his little throne, and whoever wins AAA, or whatever happens at the very end of this month, like whoever wins AAA has the right to challenge the champion. You know, first to 5 or something like that. So we could use that as like the upper tier events. And if you were playing single A, for example, if you finish in the top 0.5%, so right now let's say there's 8 people, and this is the single A. No, the person who win the the top 2, it's a ticket to go to play in the next league, which would then be double A. And for the most part, anyone who is not, basically everyone gets plays in double A, and beginner intermediates get to go into single A. That's the kind of general idea I have right now. And since it's like an invitation base, we could actually do basically, single A for the first hour, and then a double A in the second hour.
Round 4. Ready, go!
Hey, good battle. Good luck, everybody in the league. All right. Good luck, everyone.
One way we can get more players to be able to play this game. Alright, guys, we're gonna begin. 7 players, so it's odd number. I'm just gonna gamble, and hopefully it will not please.
All right. This is a lot of fun, and yeah, we're gonna do open league here. But I really like watching that development aspect today too. But I'm excited to play in open league again. So here we go. Alright, Venus head. Oh, there's an ad popping up down there too. So the versus screen has an ad as well.
It's showtime! Round 1. Ready, go!
So we're testing fundamentals, right? Good. Very good. Very good. Good Okizumi. Good. Alright, we're gonna go after him now. Alright. The connection's not the best with Venus Head, but that's okay. This is fun to play. So the problem here was using a slower attack, and then also was because of the release speed. I saw that stance. I'm not gonna risk it. I'm gonna attack early. Nice. Doesn't go for a low throw. Ground throw, I mean. Alright, good game. Thank you very much, being this head.
What a knucklehead.
Jimmy Claymore gets me. I'm the one that said, you know, the possibility for ads is that there is a possibility that they're going to move towards a cross-platform release, you know? And if that's the case, well, I think it's late. I think it'd be wonderful still. It's better than nothing. So,
They call Japan, they have a system with single A, double A, triple A. Or you think I'm a narcissist. It's a single Akai, double Akai, triple Akai.
speaking of fundamental skills, I still need to turn in my homework. Yeah, you always have time to put in your homework. You always have time for time with chatting with me too. So always love having your messages, and really good to see you, Sorensen. Thank you so much. Always.
What do you think of Crazy Jack? Would that be something of interest to you? Once a month, tile match, or a lead play, be restricted to like upper and middle methods for beginner and intermediates.
Alright, we're on a buy round this round, okay. And I'm afraid to jump into the screen. I'm really afraid to jump into the replay screen. So it's good to watch an Akai stream because I'm afraid to crash the whole league. I'll just wait. Fighting Taka is really hard, so I'm gonna watch Akai. I'm gonna watch Crazy Drunk's Taka and how people are fighting it. Silverbolt's playing patient, which is good to do against Taka. Yeah. When you see twin pistons, first you want to I would first test the Taka to see if they're actually going to try to do delay. So I would just hold guard and throw escape. Just see what they do. Are they going to try to mix and throw? Are they going to do delay? Are they going to do something else like a low, which is the weird option? They shouldn't. They should actually go for either throw or doing the continuation of twin pistons. But if you're able to block it, you want to punish it. You want to punish it with the -15. I will try to do my easy punish today, but I might do my too easy punish. I need to actually do my so-so damage punish. But it's the standard punish for Leon, which is eye poke in the PK. If I fight against Banox Taka, but we'll see. Against Banox Taka, it is a good idea to kind of do a roll. When he knocks you down to the ground, it's good to mash on guard and either up or down so that you can roll up or down. And the reason is because he's going to try to use that stomp, and that stomp's going to hit you if you do nothing. It's like the really big stomp, the standard one that the sumo wrestlers are always supposed to practice. Okay. So we'll see how this goes. I do love getting all of the Taka training I can get. So if I fight Banox Taka, I'm pretty happy with that. He is very, very strong and it's got good fundamentals, and it's going to be kind of hard for me. So we'll see. I need to watch stance on elbow punch. That's going to be a hard one for me to do, because if I miss it, he's going to hit me back. If I do the wrong combo, I will be in deep trouble. So I have to do the correct combo. Alright, we're going to fight against Kung Fu Hustle. This will be a lot of fun. I like fighting Kage. Kung Fu Hustle does like to do set play stuff, so it's going to be interesting fighting his Kage. we'll see how this goes.
Round one. Ready, go!
Good.
Round two. Ready,
It's not going for it.
knockout.
KK is the combo there. I was supposed to KK that. I see. Very good. You mashed. It's good. Alright. Connection is okay. Hey J-Thor, good to see you. After today's session, I'm hoping to show you some pointers to give you some of the lectures. Alright, thank you for the battle, Kung Fu Hustle. Yeah, I was going to point out some stuff that was happening in your matches. There's lots of good stuff. I don't want to overload you right now during the league. But after the 2 open leagues, I'll go into training mode and show you so you can see. I think you're going to like the stuff that I can show you, though. And stuff specific versus Vanessa. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun to do that together. And you definitely should be a regular sparring partner with Silverbolt. I do think that, yeah, there's lots of stuff I can say about that. So, yeah. I think Open League is what works better for Crazy Drunk. Absolutely. Awesome. I think it's watching you guys fight to me was pretty fun. Silverbolt. I definitely will show some stuff for against Lao as well. So, and we'll try to find some answers both defense stance and offense stance. But you can start with PK punish is good on certain stuff. The problem with punish in this game is if you have a Nitaku situation and you do the punish and you try to do a punish like a high, you might be in trouble, right? Somebody can like low punch mash you there. Alright, I'm getting rocked here. Alright, excellent, very good stuff. Very good. Very good. Always be careful because that low punch, if it's blocked, doesn't lead to the uppercut. It's just that it's really hard to punish the uppercut, but I will. So I'll try to as much as I can. Alright, thank you for the battle, Silverbolt. But I'll also show you some of the setups that Lao has. The Koke stance for Lao is a higher risk, higher reward situation. Um, at the higher levels, some Lao players are afraid to do it a little because they want to have a good read on the opponent before they do it. At the lower level, you force a guessing game and it's pretty scary. So the opponent has to learn how to deal with it. But it really forces a gamble. It's very much the mix-up situation. So, yeah. But sorry to hear that the moves are dropping for you. If they are. Let's see. For me, sometimes I've had trouble where I input too early. Sometimes too late. And it used to be a lot more too late, but nowadays it's too early. And then sometimes if I'm pushing too many buttons, that's not good either, because that just throws off whatever timing you're doing, and that can actually make you do delays without knowing it because you're trying to mash, but mashing is, I know that for me, mashing doesn't work well for me, so I have to kind of do things kind of very directly in VF, right? Just like, you know, but movement options is where I start to do extra inputs, but yeah. Yeah, I still that one's always the hard one for me is hitting tech roll and just like and holding guard way too early instead of just letting it go everything go to neutral and then hit guard again. That one is definitely one that I always it comes back, yeah.
Round one. Ready, go! Excellent.
All right, Bannock just read that round, so let's see how the rest of this goes.
Ready, go!
Such a good opener though. All right, good. All right, good. There we go. All right, here we go, Bannock. Okay. I thought I blocked it, but apparently it didn't block. Like I just held guard here when he jabbed me. But that's okay. My God, that's so scary. Okay, that's good to know. All right, good game. So this is a lot of good Taka stuff that I had to learn here. Is a lot of good space and play, where he's pushing me and using the space, and then some of it might be advantage. So I need to learn those frames on those situations. But it's really good stuff. It's powerful Taka set play that I need to learn, and so I'm looking forward to learning it. But yeah, really scary stuff. And also, twice in that game, he showed me that Taka, if you pick an attack option against Taka in the opening, he can get you to the wall very easily. So now I know that basically Taka is pretty much going to get a wall combo if you open aggressively and lose. And so good to know. Way too much risk to do it in the taco stage against him to experiment. I need to experiment with opening plays against Bannock's Taka in safer stages. But in the taco stage, it's way too risky because if he does get a hit, you're going to end up eating like a wall combo. And so that's what happened to me just now. So it's good stuff. Good to learn. And lately I'm glad that I've got more Taka, more people to practice against Taka with. Because I haven't had many opponents, and I fight Bannock like 4 times a year, you know. So, so I'm really happy that we get to fight more. Hopefully now. So yeah. But I did fight their Taka long ago. It's always good stuff. But I'm in a different mindset than I was even 2 years ago in terms of the way I assess the matchups. It's really good stuff. Yeah. All right. So again, what I was trying to say earlier, when you fight against Jeffrey, he actually has a lot of minus 13, minus 15. A lot of his 2-hit and 3-hit strings are punishable on block. So you do want to learn them and if you don't know them, start with a PK, except that it's really risky when people do lows, but Jeffrey, it's okay. This is good stuff. Space Time is doing fantastic here. Alright, he takes the first round. Let's see if we can mess with him. But that's really good stuff. He's just being patient. So, a lot of times for me, when the opponent is being really patient, the answer is actually to just throw more. It is nice having a low throw, yes. But low throws are overrated too. They're really good, but you gotta use them in a very smart way. Because if you don't, there's actually a lot of problems. Guaranteed there. But he is playing very well. He's playing a lot smarter. So he has been improving so much. Alright, good game.
Alright. Got one more match to go. J4 versus
Alright, J-Thor, here we go. It's a lot of fun. Drove me crazy the last time we fought because he's very aggressive and it matches mine, so sometimes if I guess wrong, I'm going to eat a lot. So... Good. Alright. Good battle, J-Thor. Good battle. All right, I'm gonna prepare for League Two, and like I said, after the two leagues, I do plan to show in training mode some stuff that I saw today to illustrate for you guys. But you guys are doing great. You guys are improving. Uh, Silver Bolt, I do understand. Yeah, I'm sorry, man, on the dropped inputs. So let's see. Go to Discord.
In today's session.
All right, that was a very fun league battle.
And let's see, Crazy Drunk at first place. How about you second? Looks like.
Yep. Yeah. Awesome job. Congratulations, Crazy Drunk. Really enjoyed that. I learned a lot about Taka there. Crazy Drunk basically showed me that if you choose to attack Taka in the opening moves of Taco stage, you better guess right, or you're gonna eat wall, or you're gonna eat wall combo right away. So it's like, okay, good to know. You know.
He did that two-hand shove in the air.
Yeah, I tried different open. I just wanted to try different openings against it, and they like a lot of them failed. So I was like, okay, like yeah. So I ended up eating wall combos like 2 or 3 times from the opening. So yeah, it's really powerful, good stuff. And then I also tried to test his spacing traps or spacing setups, and the spacing setups would kill me. It's really good stuff. It's really, really good stuff. So I need to learn a lot about Taka, but I definitely need to learn his set plays especially, because I kind of walk into him very much. But Crazy Drunk's awesome, so I'm really happy to have that battle. My connection with Venus was not the best, but it was manageable. But it was not. It was definitely something where I had to be on the more cautious side. Sorry, it's Silverbolt was asking me a question on the. Okay, go ahead.
Alright, we're going to open the rooms open back up again. So those who want to join and participate, passcode is 0109. This is for North America region. We want people to play with a wired connection. It'll make not only your experience better, but everyone else who plays will appreciate that you're using wired connection. Alright? Never Stop Exploring. Sponsored by Outback Gears.
Yep.
Right.
Awesome. They might be a brand within Jet Set Radio Future, or Jet Set Radio whatever. Right, yeah.
Actually, I saw it a lot on the TV screen, and I'm not actually seeing it in the actual matches right now.
Yeah.
But in the actual stage matches earlier on VF TV, there was a lot.
I see. Yeah, I mean, right now we're seeing them on the dead air screen, so there's no more dead air screen, which is a good thing. But that does contribute to seeing it more. And then, meaning the screen when there's no activity, or like when you've disconnected from a replay, so it'll be showing up there. And then we've seen them placed in the stages, and then of course on the versus screen on the lower right corner. And like I said, I mean, my honest opinion is, the ads don't personally bug me. Obviously, if they're like all over the place, that's different while we're fighting. But the presence of them doesn't bother me. Especially if, like I said, I'm hoping that it would finance something regarding the game, right? If it financed some kind of development on the game, whether it's this, because some people, I've heard somebody give me a response when I talked about crossplay and having a cost, and they're like, well, Sega has servers. It's like, yes, but here's the thing. There is a cost associated with PlayStation Network. If you're on there and you're doing multiplayer, but generally Sony covers those costs. But if you do the crossplay route, Sony gives you a bill on top of whatever else you're paying for whatever other servers you're paying. And so that's why I'm saying that there is a cost when you decide to go crossplay, that Sony suddenly tells the developers they need to pay a certain chunk of the server fees now. So that's why I'm like, if that helps finance the crossplay costs, so then I don't mind that. But yeah, but we'll see what actually happens. It may just be a bunch of ads for the next year it might just be ads for the next year showcasing all the new upcoming Sega games. The return of Super Monkey Ball or the Golden Axes. And it might be brands related to the Crazy Taxis and the Jet Set Radios. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Alright, I'm just going with an ad break here, and post on Discord and everywhere else. So again, passcode 0109, and get some snacks or take a stretch, and I'll be back.
Okay, so D-Rod is Venus Head. Okay. Long time ago, I thought Akai was saying D-Wad. It's D-Rod. Okay, with an R. Okay.
Oh, D1 is a
Right.
Venus head.
Yeah, no, but it's R with. It sounds like you're saying D-Wad, like with a W, but you're saying D-Rod with the R. So I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because I'm sorry, with the name.
R's and W's and L's.
Yeah, with the name Venus Head, you know, D-Wad sounds perfectly in line, so. You know, so. It's just like, yeah. Oh, Bannock is cracked with every character. I do think that Bannock is one of the strongest players in the country, and I think a lot of people should. I think there's a lot of people that don't seem to readily kind of seem to know that, and I'm kind of like, no, this guy is like one of the best in the country, and has been for quite a few years now. So he's cracked with so many characters, but yes, especially Shun, Taka, Lei Fei, and a bunch of others. So yeah. Sega's upcoming FGC league. Well, I can imagine them doing an esports league in Japan. That's the only thing I can imagine, though. If they were going to do a league. And technically, they did a circuit, so yeah. I do think that they are going to be supporting their Japanese pro licensed players more this year by having more events that require their involvement, whether it's both promotional events and as competitive events too. I really believe Sega is pretty much signaling that this year they're going to do more of those things. Last year they didn't do much of it at all. Yes, they allowed their games to be presented at Evo Japan, but that was kind of the extent of it. Besides, besides a couple of small events. But I think this year, I think they're making a full commitment that those pro licensed players are going to have more opportunities to both promote the game, in which case I hope they're getting paid, and then also compete, in which again I hope they're getting a minimum pay on top of the prize bonuses. But that's not my area. That's up on the parties involved. But I just hope that the pro players get more support this year, and I think they will.
I got 10 seconds left on the ads. I already started the countdown since I started late the ad advertisements.
I like that there's different photos for this Never Stop Exploring. So that was good stuff. Keep it up. Vanlock's training everybody, and I love it. I love that. Welcome, Billion Music 999.
Round one. Ready, go!
So these twin pistons, you really want to block. Like as a beginner, my recommendation is to do guard throw escape, meaning you hold guard and you hold either forward or back as your throw escape. That's my recommendation. And then you're hoping that he does do the twin pistons all the way so that you can punish it with something that's 15 frames or faster. It could be a number of factors. If other inputs are getting in the way, that could be the problem. Sometimes that's the problem for me. Normally it's just a clean down and evade, and you can do it pretty early. Of course, if you do it too early, that's a problem. But you can do it early. Just tap down and neutral. So the main thing is the evade. It's not going to happen if you don't go back to neutral. The correct input for evade is down and neutral. So tapping down and letting go is the most important part, right? In Tekken, you do a downward evade by tapping down twice, and so it happens when you do the second down. But in Virtua Fighter, it's down and neutral. Same as up and neutral, but up is much easier, and up actually kind of lets you do even without hitting the neutral. But you have to make sure you go down and let go. So it's got down and neutral, just like tap down, and that is the downward evade. It might be that. It could be a lot of other reasons, but that's usually the biggest one. Is some people might not. Some people might press down and not let go of down. You got to let go of down. But again, I don't see. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Go ahead. Go finish your Shai.
No, I'm pretty much done. I was just gonna say that without seeing your inputs, it's hard for me to know. It's hard for me to diagnose what causes a downward evade not to work. But do know that the input is down and then neutral.
All right, we got 3 more matches to go before we begin the last league of the night. Passcode is 0109, today's date. So 3 matches, so that's basically about 6 to 9 minutes wait time now. But one thing I did want to point out was Bernard Wolt, because I was asking what's people's opinion of doing like a double A or triple A or once a month like a championship bout or something like that, or the quarter championship tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
And when we originally started the Sunday session, it was just to get a time where people would know that you could get together and play, right?
Yeah.
That was the original idea.
Right.
And so that's what we've been doing, and it's been working for 2 years.
Yes.
We'll be doing that also so that format is still staying the same for Sunday and Friday.
Okay.
But he does make a point in which, saying is, where is it? It works better for him to openly because there's not a lot of players to fight in rank.
Right.
And sometimes can't even get any matches in rooms. And so one thing I was hoping that when I am running something that's like just limited to certain players, a certain type of players only, like the invitational leagues and stuff, is that there could be a parallel room that's made for people who's not playing.
Yeah.
And so, that's like, yeah, we're running single A right now, so for those who usually show up here, it's like, can someone else, make a room for everyone else that wants to play matches?
Yeah, that's always a good suggestion to chat.
It takes a little bit more effort, but the more we work as a group together, we could get things. I think we could find something that will work out that we're benefit everybody.
No, I think so. Well,
so for like I'm sorry, go ahead, Chai.
Just the past many months, I've had great connection with Bannock, but we're both on the West Coast. I think long time ago there were some players that felt they didn't have a good connection with him, so they didn't play with him. But I'm hoping that nowadays more people see that they probably have a better connection with him than in the past. So I hope that's not the reason he's having trouble getting room matches, though if that was the reason, it's probably easier to solve. But because he's such an amazing player, he'll make anybody better just for her.
I was actually playing against Bannock and Hassasnelli a couple of nights ago. I couldn't win one match against any of them, so I was very sad at the end.
They're incredibly high caliber players, so yeah. Both of them are pretty much in arguably the top tier of North America. So it's a small club, but those two I put up high like that. Now of course sometimes if you're playing one-offs or open rooms, it might be harder to see that. But Bannock is incredibly strong, and it's one of those where yes, he plays characters that do a lot of set play, but his fundamentals are incredibly good. And so sometimes the set play nature might some people might not see past the set play nature and realize what a beast he is just on basic fundamentals, you know. And the scarier part for me about him is I've seen him fight at such a high level on lag. I've seen him fight it on offline. I've seen him fight it in all kinds of connections. It doesn't matter. I even in the Parsec era, when like he played on East Coast tournaments where he would have the lag, but they wouldn't if they were playing because they're on the East Coast, and it was Parsec, which was not everybody has a similar connection at all. It's only whatever person's connection is to the server. And his fundamentals really shined when I watched them in there because I know what he was dealing with. But yeah, he's insanely strong. Just take him as learning battles, and when you take your wins, definitely be super proud. you know. Same with Nelly.
Alright, last match and we begin the last league of the day. Anyone last minute one joins passcode 0109.
But like today, I have no illusions about. Like today, my approach against Bannock's Taka is I really am happy to have a really strong Taka to fight against and to learn the matchup with, because it is one of the matchups I actually don't feel I know very well. Like I don't know the nuances that well. I'm not comfortable in the nuances. I'm okay fighting some very basic mix-up stuff and fundamentals against Taka, but there are techniques that Taka players can use that I'm not comfortable with knowing them yet, and so I'm happy learning them. And just like I was happy learning the hard way that Taka stage, if I choosing to go aggressive in the opening is like insanely high risk against Taka, because he's just definitely going to be getting that wall combo off, which is nuts from the starting position. So yeah, but also how that starter, how many situations how many things it wins against. So it's like I'm not doing terrible openings. I'm doing just openings that might turn out to be terrible against Taka, and I'm learning. So yeah, so this is a learning night for me too, like everyone else, and I'm loving it. And Bannock is really, really. I think you knew that I was predicting he would probably win the league if he got to play enough leagues last season. All right, go. Good luck, everybody.
Alright, is that it? Alright, I'm back in the game, so we're gonna do it.
All right, I'll see you soon. All right, here we go. David Blaine, awesome to see you. All right, so I think everybody got to hear what I had to say. But I've always had high respect for Bannock for over 10 years of playing VF with them. So, but especially in the last 5 years. In the last 5 years, they're even stronger than before. I would say 10 years ago, their foundation was set as a very set play heavy player, but 5 years ago their fundamentals had become so strong. That's really good opening. I had to do this one because I know that he's going to hit a button. Well, I'm almost like he's going to hit a button. He was just waiting for a tech roll. Okay. Alright, thank you for the battles, Kung Fu Hustle. Very good calculated battles. It's in the Coliseum stage. I didn't see it, so I was focused on the fight. But the ads are working if you guys see it in the Coliseum stage. So. That's a really good attitude to have, J Thor. I like that spirit. All is love in VF. Really is. This game can really push you to certain limits, and I love it. Alright, Akai, here we go. Akai... I was surprised that Akai was salty on Sunday, so let us do the fighting. Let's see how this goes. Let's see what Akai has cooked up for me. Very good. Very good. Good. Good punish. Okay. He's not gonna like that one though. He caught the backdash. Got a tech roll. It does suck if the tech roll doesn't come out when you intend to. Very good. He did the forward throw, not the back. Just really good. Very good. Right. Good game, Kai. Alright, space time, here we go. That last game was scary, last league. I am excited for space time. I think I'm going to get to see him this Saturday, and I hope so. He might be going to the monthly tournament in Portland, so I'm really excited about that. So, and his Jeffrey is very scary. So keep this up. Keep this up, my friend.
Round one. Ready?
Alright, not the best punish, but...
Round two. Ready?
That was unfortunate, but yeah, he was out of range for this low.
Round three.
Okay, he went forward. I actually tried to reverse back. It's good. Very good patience. Go for the whiff punish.
Round four. Ready?
Alright. Good game. It's very scary. His Jeffrey is very scary, actually. I had a feeling like if I made a mistake, he's going to throw me out of the ring. So, and of course it's all back throw there, but still, it's always go for the ring outs, yes. So, no mercy. No mercy. They are a huge part of the game, and they are the infinite combo, so.
Round one. Ready? Go!
Yeah, I think that's true too. No. Yep, 2K beats 2K ignores EXI. Patience. Good choice. Good tackle. Tackle is really messes. Like, I am weak to tackle, so. That is a Leon trick right there. Let's try to do this. Very good. Very good play, Silverbolt. You see, you're doing fantastic. Now I'm going to try really hard, though. Very scary battle. Good game.
GG's J-Thor. So that's a very strong launcher. But you do block it, 3 damage. But which will help out guys because I'm also hopefully it's not a bad idea. Alright, this Banach and Chan Chai is leading the group.
Yeah. I do like the wall. I also like to ring out, too. Very good. Very good, Venus Head. So sidewall combo, or side turn sequence here. The side kick, when it gets purple, I get a free PKP. After that, I did a counter hit elbow, and with that counter hit elbow, I didn't get guarantee, but throwing was a very strong option there. So got the side throw. So, yeah.
It's 5 matches, so we got 2 more matches to go.
Okay. That's right. I see. Okay, so after you escape forward throw escape, elbow is dangerous to do because of that fadeaway. Yep, elbow into throw. It's really good against me. Gotta punish that. I didn't punish. Yeah, don't attack. So this attack was bad. I didn't intend to do 4-3, but that was my bad, so good to know. Okay, so these setups are just bad. I mean, for me. They're not setups either, they're just It's just me trying to attack when he creates space. This is a big part of Taka's game, though. This is how Sumo plays. So for me, just understand that if this gap is created, Taka has that attack to be able to take advantage. It's the same. I fell for it again. Um, yeah, it's gonna be a while. It's gonna work against me a lot. I think I am trying to evade him too much, so I need to. I don't know. I'll have to see. I have to keep fighting him more to see. So I probably have to crouch. Actually, I need to. Well, I have to debate how I want to approach it, but I need to understand it's an approach game there. He's got a backdash game just like I do. I don't think he's even backdashing though. I think he's just pushing me. So it's a spacing, it's a space setup, and I need to be very extra careful on space setups. It's very good stuff though. That's also why it sets up stuff like charge, because delay charge is actually kind of easy to do. It's like something like you do like back, like 446p, right? Back forward p, and that would cause that can cause a timing change too. So that's why evade. That's like Akira, Taka is gonna make sure you feel it if you evade and fail. That was an unfortunate mistake.
Round two. Ready, knockout. Round three. Ready, go.
Good game, J Thor. I used the fast attack here and figured this would hit, so I was like, he's probably gonna want a 9K here. So good game, good game. Nine K is good. It's just it's good if you can whiff punish with it. If you're doing it as a guess, then while it does have good damage potential, it can be punished pretty well, and it can be both on evade and on guard. But it is true that for a lot of levels of play, it's very powerful. But if it's anticipated, it's like anything else, there's risks with it.
No, I knew that was coming. Yeah, I felt it input the back skate. Doesn't like that crack that. I'm gonna go play close to the wall. for such a direction. I don't pay such a discouragement too much. Way too
All right,
different.
congratulations, Crazy Junk. Wonderful having you
All right.
here, and good stuff. All right, let's see.
All right, congratulations to Bernard for getting first place. And yay, either. Thanks everyone for playing. So yeah, Tuesday, most likely it will not be open league session. I'll leave this room open for those who just want to still continue playing. But that is it for me. But yes, I want Tuesday to be kind of the day in which I just try to try out different things. And so I think there's some people who are already interested in doing the practice session, continuing. That most likely will be continuing to do that on at the end of a session, though. I think that might be best. But again, if you guys could give me feedback exactly if this is actually something of interest, doing single A or double A or whatever, that'd be great. And for those who's like with Banak's situation, especially since he's a Noble Lord, it's hard for him to get matches, especially online. And I understand that. And I actually appreciate that we get to play against Banak all the time. It gives me a boss character to try to a boss player to try to get closer to. It did hurt a little that I got 2 match rounds in and couldn't finish it. But yeah, I think that might be a good idea to try. Is that if I do host sessions that's not open league, is that work with the people who is online and that actually want to play games, and set a second room for those who are to make another room for those to play in. But if there's people who's willing to work and collaborate with me, let's try. We could try something. Make this a little bit works for everybody.
It sounds really good, and I do think Tuesday's a good day to try stuff out. And I think, and I know that the creative side of you has been wanting to be able to do that more, and to kind of experiment and see what sticks. So, but a lot of pretty much almost everything you've been doing has been really great, though. So it's really appreciated, and you keep improving and iterating upon it as well. But also keep trying new stuff. So I think it's great. Today was really good, and I had a lot of fun. But I had a lot of fun watching it too.
Yep. So next session for North America is Friday evening. So that will be 3 open league sessions, and then Sunday. All right. Again, you could use the PSN group chat to message or provide feedback, or Virtual Fire Discord. Or VFTC, there's ways in both places for you to post up. Alright.
Sounds very good.
Okay. Are you still planning to play Chanta? If so,
I'm not playing too much longer. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go into training mode and show on my stream a couple things to Jthor and Silverbolt.
okay.
Just from what I saw from earlier today. But I'm not planning to spend much more than 10. Incidentally, I'll spend more than 10 minutes, but I'm only planning to spend about 10 minutes on that, and then go take care of my family. but it's VF, so
Okay.
it's always hard to resist anything on VF. So.
Okay. Since Banuk is still in the room, I'll go play him one match.
That's a good idea. You should. I want to play him, but I know that once I start playing, I'll want to play forever, and then he'll the moment then he's gonna leave when I'm like wanting to keep fighting.
Okay, let's see. Cheers. So let me go find.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Akai, for everything.
Well, thanks for stopping by, Chan Chai. And until next time.
Till next
Make sure to
time.
reply on the group chat.
All right. So here we go. I'm going to give some commentary here now. So of course this is more centered on J-Thor, but this is for both players. So Vanessa's kick from defense stance. It's, if you look at it, it is a high, it is a middle into an EX high, okay? So obviously you can't block low this kick because that'll happen, but even on crouch hit, not guaranteed, right? It's only guaranteed if you get counter hit, right? So if you get counter hit, then it's guaranteed. But even this, not guaranteed, alright? Now, Lau, this move is 20 frames, that's too slow, right? But his up knife is good. This one. And you gotta commit though. Right? You gotta do it pretty early actually. It's pretty scary because if you do it too early, she's gonna counter hit you with this. Yeah. She's gonna counter hit you with that, right? But if you want to make it easier, you can just punch rush with up knife. But really you're trying to nail the like this one. That's what you want to do. And you want to train this in training mode a lot. Right, and I'm going to show you the inputs so you can see it. Are you okay using the command display, this one, where you can see my stick, or do you prefer the listed display? See how I pre-held down forward? Yeah. And that's almost half life, right? This is what. So, this move by Lau. This, since VF1, one of the best moves in the game. This move, when you're crouched already, 3P. It's different from 3P here, right? This is a down knife. This is what we call the up knife, and the up knife has this, right? And this one, P plus K. So while crouching, 3P P plus K. If you can recovery hit with this thing, you get a free. This is guaranteed on recovery hit. Really scary if you get really good at this. And the trick to doing it, you can't do 3-3 like 3-5-3P. That's going to cause this. So to get this one, you got to do 3-2-3 and then hold, so like that. Right? Very different from this. This is the rush one. And this is a good move too, right? Like this is guaranteed. 3-3 PPK, just like 3 PPK, right? This one is actually the pros like to use this move because long range, this thing can whiff punish, and if you get that first hit, if you can see that you're gonna hit with it, you're gonna get like the other two, like that. And you can go into Koke as well. So you have like a game as well. Right? And you can do it that slow. Right? But again, the main thing we want to do against this. So the problem is if you do the up knife too early, you're gonna get this is gonna happen because of that EX high. Right? So you got to do this, but yeah. It's not so much that Lau's plus, it's more like Lau has really fast options. So that's what I'm going to show you. Okay. So like let's set the AI to guard. Okay? And we're going to set the display to show our detailed stats. Okay. First thing, Silver Bolt. One of the throws you have to watch out for with Lau is this throw. This is down back. This is hurricane kick throw, okay? And when he has that, because now it looks like plus 11, but remember it's side turn. So this is side turn. So this elbow punch is guaranteed after it. So he's going to do this, okay? And the scary part about that is Lau has a mix-up game. Okay? If I do elbow punch, I can go into Koke. But let's look at the stats on Koke from the front, even though this is gonna be side. It's -2, but this move is only 17 frames, but it goes under some stuff. So ignore the frames and just know that this thing, like deceptively, it's hard to respond to, and a lot of time it's just gonna win if he does it right away, especially if he does it this speed. Okay, and so what you can do is you can block it, but understand that he is only -3, so technically he can fuzzy guard by doing this, like that. That's a fuzzy guard. So you don't really have that many options against him after you even block this, but just like neutralize the situation by blocking that. Now, let's see. There is like a guard break he has. But the thing is if you evade, he wants to do this spin kick here. It's full circular. And that's because he's got like that's like guaranteed. And so when people start doing evade, this is what he wants to do. However, guarding, he really, on the throw situation, because it's side turn, he wants you to block after 6 PP. And that's because, well, normally he wants to do, he does this if he thinks you're going to push a button. But if he thinks you're going to guard, it's really nasty. He does this, and that was bad because of the wall. Let's pull it back over here. So watch this. This is nuts. I'm being dumb. Okay. So he wants to do that, and it's like plus, it's really nasty. And this is guaranteed on the side. I need to do it fast though. I'm not used to it because I don't play WoW. But like, that's actually guaranteed. It doesn't, on AI here, can't really get it. Normally it will get somebody. So. But I can't do Koke, it's the problem. It's like my muscle habit. But this one, even if it's not that though, like, because this from the side, oh, this is what he wants, right? Because this is guaranteed, right? Like, this is really guaranteed. But it's got to be that plus 17, right? Probably, yeah. Like, my brain's fine because I don't normally play WoW. Probably just gonna be this thing, right? So. But either way, he's going to eventually get good damage there. But this one is really nasty. Because this one will crumple you, and then he has a combo. So, like, if I change the CPU to not guard. Something like that, yeah. This move is so cool. So that's what you want to be aware of. Things about Vanessa. Let's see. So this thing is not a real. This thing is not a real sequence, right? And why is it not a real sequence? Let's switch it back to. Let's play as Vanessa against Lau. It's effective and it beats a lot of people. But it doesn't really beat me anymore because I've dealt with it so much. But it took like, you know, thousands of battles. But basically, until I had the confidence to know that I can low punch and I can elbow and I can do everything I normally can do. But this thing is... It's a scrub killer, and it is a good. It's an intermediate killer. It beats most people, right? So that's -5, and normally a jab is 12 frames, right? So the problem is, so this is 13 frames, right? But at -5, against somebody doing an elbow, which is 14 frames, right? That -5 doesn't protect you from this. You'll still lose to this. You'll still lose to an elbow, right? So CPU setting, guard and counterattack, and have them do mid attack, okay? Right? So what is he gonna do? He's gonna do this. He's gonna do elbow, right? This is not gonna work, right? Same thing. I'm doing exactly like what blurring does, what Silverbolt does, what a lot of the Vanessa players do, and it doesn't work, right? If you block the guard, if you guard the 2P, this uppercut doesn't work, right? And the 3P doesn't work either, right? Not only that, but that elbow gives you this puts Vanessa into Nitaku, which means you can mid throw her pretty effectively. So you do the elbow and then to a mid or a throw. Elbow throw or elbow mid, right? Now online, this is hard to do. That's another, but it's not just online. Offline, you will see the same. The same players that can't do it online will have the same difficulty doing this offline. It requires you to be pretty fast, right? So it's important to understand that. Now this, let's finish the lecture on this. Her kick, if the second kick hits you, your side turn. Not only that, she's +8. Technically, she can throw. Let's try that. Yeah, this side throw is guaranteed. Because you can't duck it. You don't have enough time to duck it. And so at that -8, you have no time to duck it on the side. So this is guaranteed too. This 3P is guaranteed as well. Like this would actually be guaranteed. Right. So this side throw, guaranteed to connect. You need to escape the side throw for sure. So Vanessa can do that, but she doesn't want to do that. She wants to do more. She wants to go for higher potential because she has so much advantage that you really need to defend. If you find yourself getting forced into side turn like this, you should defend, and typically you should do down and guard into the standing guard. And the reason is because if she does like this high punch, something like a really quick high, it's actually not guaranteed. You can actually duck it. You just can't duck under a throw, but you can duck under a high attack. Because of this, you're at -8. Let's do this. So yeah, Assassin's playing right now. It's awesome. Does anyone have any other questions before I go? Let's see. Recording for training this in advance. Okay. You can record 3 and set them to play randomly too. Yes. KK is a common move for Vanessa. Yep. It's good. Is Lao plus after Koke? No. I'll start over. Yeah, you've been hit by that. Yeah. Jin, it's good to see you. I am gonna go take care of kids soon, but J Thor, you still in the room? Did I make everybody fall asleep? I probably did. But things you should know. This move too, right? 9P. She's +4. Or she's +2, right? So like that'll work, this'll work, right? She's +2. And so against most characters she can do not really 6, yeah. She can do 6P from offense stance. So it's like this. This is actually what most Vanessa players should do, is 6P. They don't, but they should. A lot of them do low punch, and that's okay, but the problem is that a hop kick will destroy that, right? They should by default do this 6P, right? And then they can do like that if they sense that the person's going to hit a button. So they just have to watch for someone hitting a button while they're doing this move, right? Or crouching. And so, like, this is what Vanessa players should do. and then switch to throwing, right? Then they should switch to throwing, because then what they should do is when the opponent, if the opponent starts like evading, which is what I do, then the answer is actually throw. Throw will beat the evade. So, and actually, especially since you're Vanessa, this tackle is fantastic. So, like throwing, such a good option here. But then, but it's a test. The first option absolutely is 6B, but you do see. But once the opponent is like actually guarding or evading, then you switch it to throwing. And that's what you should do. That's a very basic. Now the opponent can fuzzy by doing this. If the opponent blocks it and then does this, that's the correct fuzzy. That's when you start doing something like a low, like you do. What is that crazy low that she's got? There's a crazy low that she has that is like sets up the tackle. It's this one, right? 2 kick as guard. Like that thing will be insane. If they actually fuzzy guard, then you want to do this insane thing. Where's down kicking guard? Yeah, from us, down kicking guard, P plus G. Yeah. During counter hit, right? That might be actually hard to do. But if they fuzzy, you might not get this, right? Yeah. But it's worth a shot. Yeah. But 2K plus G is an insane move. An offense stance, one of the biggest offensive situations for offense stance is this whole thing of, is this move? Is that move? No. Yeah, this move. Okay. Just standing kick, right? Nope. This one, when you hold forward and kick. You hold forward ahead of time and you press kick. This move is what you do when people hit buttons. If you do something like this, 16 frames, so you got to be about +4. You got to be +4. If you can set up a +4 though, like if you hit them with a low punch and then do this, just like as long as you can do it from when you actually hit them. If they guard it, this is not going to work. But if you hit them and then do this, this is really scary. And then what happens, but also if they like to hit buttons still, but they like to crush, then like this thing is like nuts. Right? That's 2K plus G in the, but it has to be counter hit, but you just get used to the timing of always doing the throw whenever you do this, you know? So good, right? This is just so stupidly good, and you get to choose like 3 directions of, they have to guess 3 ways to avoid damage, and it's a lot of damage. As long as you can counter hit with it, which is kind of hard to do. Right, but this thing too, again, if you get good at knowing that when you hit, and you're pretty holding forward, and then you do this, it's so stupidly good. Yeah, so basically it's really good against people that like to sidestep. And because, like, let's look at the stance, as Tricky said, right? This is, she doesn't change stance, so yeah, this is, they have to evade to her backside. If they're evading to her front, she wants to do this. But it's the opposite direction, and she does switch stance, but it is the opposite directions if you do this. So that's why this is a pure mix-up with this. As long as the frames permit it, as long as you're +4 or better. But if you're +4, you're mainly trying to do this first and condition them to try to want to evade the other way. And then when they evade the other way, if you see them evading the other way, like this, yeah, it is. This is, yeah, that's fine, right? As long as we know how to set up the mix-up where those 2 things are the threat, yeah. But mainly what the opponent's doing, yeah. That is the complicated thing about VF, is that I don't know if there actually are pure mix-ups, but there are super close to pure mix-ups, right? Mid and throw is a pretty close to pure mix-up. until there's a sabaki that can deal with that mid, right? Then suddenly you have to change it to make it more. A full circular versus a counter hit mid that's linear. A full circular sweep versus that technically is a more pure mix-up. Because you've subdivided what the opponent's responses are into two camps. It's like you got to pick your poison. You're going to pick one of the things you're going to defend from me, right? Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, then you're forcing mistakes when you get to the reaction level. But I think right now we'll talk about the mix-ups first. But yes, at that higher level it becomes that the reactions become much more important factor and how to subvert them. And like you gave when you told somebody else about kick cancel in private chat, because kick cancel is, again, it's not so much that you want to abare with it. What it is that you want to, well, one is you can cause somebody to evade with it, but the main thing is that you want them to react to it and overextend. So that's forcing a mistake, like Tricky said. Yeah, so you're messing with their reaction and getting them to either overextend by doing an attack prematurely or doing an action prematurely, or even or causing them to kind of do something very awkward. But yeah. Anyways, so mastering this mix-up does take a bit, though, right? It is more about when you have advantage, you master this mix-up. And if you see people sidestepping, you do that a lot. But before that, I would rather you guys just threw people when you saw them sidestepping. Understand that the moment that they sidestep, it has to be in that moment, but you do want to. But typically, if we're in close range and they're sidestepping at a certain thing close range, like after you block their side kick, or after you hit them with a side kick and you're close to them, then you want to be able to determine that if they like to step, throwing is really your first choice of offense there. If they like to guard, throwing is your first choice of offense there. After that, we expand to more targeted options for very specifically, they like to evade to the back. Now I'm going to do this other thing, right? And that's where we go. That's where we go. They like to evade to the back, then it would be 6K, right? No, 6K is not it. Okay, yeah. So 2K plus G is when they like to evade to the back, right? But of course we can't have a wall hit. So, yeah, it is. Yeah, that's why we're not going into that too far. I'll just say that the mix-up you want to learn is 6K and sweep with an offense stance, really strong. And you do that with after you hit, right? Tricky's playing at a level where people can fuzzy guard under a throw and do KK. But I think when you're at Silverbolt's level and J-Thor's level, you need to master throwing, in my opinion. Because if you don't master throwing, you don't understand why the other decisions are being made the way they are. But Tricky is playing at a level where where it's hard to throw, and then what they're doing is they're going to fuzzy guard and then PK you when you missed with the throw. But that level is reserved for 5 people in North America. So it's it's not for 5. It's there's over 10. But yeah, it's one of those things where you need to understand throwing. You need to understand throwing first, and why it's really good, and why it's gonna punish especially sidestepping, right? Yeah. But if I go into the nuances for why players at a certain high level are playing, it's just going to get really confusing, and it's stuff that can't be done yet or seen yet at the level that you guys are playing. And but it gets there. But again, it's more that things get squeezed into it. People get squeezed into having to use fuzzy guard, at the higher level. People get squeezed into having to use more reaction than Yomi. at a higher level because they reduce the risk so much. But VF is a game where you really need to counter what the opponent's doing, and most of the people, pretty much almost everyone you guys are fighting right now, will generally lose to a throw mid decision. And even at the higher level, it will still, because when you force a high enough thing. In Tricky's way of playing, she is trying to avoid being in -6, -7, -8. And so she's just like, I am only going to deal with, being like minus only so much. And I'm going to cut the risk down so much that that we're going to be poking, and that Fuzzy Guard's going to be this big differentiator. Not Fuzzy Guard into a punish. Into like, can my opponent actually PK me when they duck a throw? That's really fast, right? Right? Stuff like that. Because it's been squeezed into the really minimal risk type of fighting play, but also really countering stuff. But then suddenly something comes up and you realize someone's stepping too much, then you throw. But it's tighter and tighter stuff, yeah. But to get there, you have to master the basic throwing. To understand that Vanessa's strength, why this stance is really good, is partly understanding that how to use frame advantage. Why this stance is good is because you understand the frame advantage and what to do there, and what to do to impose forcing mix-ups with offense stance. Whereas defense stance felt really good because you could keep doing some stuff that would probably win when the opponent just attacked like normal. And so like this, right? But this only gives me +4 on counter hit. That's nothing, right? Especially in defense stance, that's nothing. It doesn't give you that much. It gives you some room to attack, but this is what you get. That much damage for counter hit is very low, right? This is just to make the opponent afraid to attack. This is good for making the opponent afraid to attack, but it doesn't win you the round, right? This is much better at winning the round, Right, so these throws, way more damage than doing this. Way more, but then you have like this, so this is good. This is good damage, but it's only giving you a mix-up situation after, but it makes the opponent really afraid to do a mid-kick, right? This is a good move when the opponent likes to do mid-kicks, but again, you're getting 45 damage, which is not bad. That's a good combo damage. That's like a guard punish damage, but you would get more damage, doing some throws, learning that if you block that mid-kick, you could throw into a knee, let's see, is it this? Yeah, I don't know Vanessa at all, so I apologize, but yeah. But the kick sabaki, this seems really cool because people can't sidekick you, right? But again, there's other stuff, like a lot of defense stance Vanessas are afraid to do this because this is kind of hard to land. I like doing it because what I'll do is I'm hoping to duck underneath a high and do this, and then that will get me that will get me a pretty good combo, which I don't know with Vanessa, but I think it's like that basically. I just don't know Vanessa as well, but yeah, so this kick is a sabaki. It will defeat side kicks, mid kicks, and it's the counterpoint to this, right? This thing sabaki's almost everything but the mid kicks, and then this thing sabaki's the mid kicks. Yeah. Oh, this one? Okay. This one is a sabaki as well, but yeah, this one I think beats punches, doesn't it? Yeah. All right, what's your question? So is that guaranteed after Superman Punch on block? Well, if Superman Punch on block doesn't guarantee you anything. What it does is it gives you a +2. And so at a +2, at a +2, this is pretty good unless you're fighting the 4 characters with there's 6 characters that can do something about this, okay? But then for those characters, then you can low punch. So you get basically a small advantage on block. You don't get any guarantee. But if they hit a button, this is gonna win, usually. Except for Eileen, Kage, Leon, Pai, they can jab you. Vanessa can uppercut you. With defense stance, she can do this, and Sarah can do back punch. Right? Those are like those are the 6 things that I know that would undermine this. That would undermine this into elbow, into a 6P. But that 6P though is a very strong answer here at +2. And then, but again, if you skill check them, you let them do that thing because that thing doesn't do that much to you. Yeah. Okay. So basic frames. When we talk about the boxing, let's talk about with offense stance here and why everybody has this. This is a high jab, 12 frames, right? And if the opponent blocks +2, so you can do this into elbow. Why? Because when most people have a 12 frame, and their low punch is also 12 frames. See that execution? So at +2, you can do a 14 frame attack, which is this. So I'm going to do something here. I am going to set the CPU to guard and counter attack with low punch. Okay? High jab doesn't work, right? Because they're going to low punch. But let's go back to Vanessa here, offense stance. Why does this work? Because 14 frames at +2 lines up with the 12 frame low punch that Lao's doing. Why does this elbow win? Or why does 6P win? 6P wins because it does more damage than the low punch, than Lao's low punch. And in VF, when 2 things collide on the same hit frames, the higher damage wins. So here, low punch loses. After blocking high punch, 6P will beat low punch. This is a really important thing to understand in VF. And this is how most characters are fighting. Yeah. So right now, like that. Same as here. We do the same thing. Same thing, right? If he's going to respond with low punch, it will lose to this. Because at +2, that low punch is going to lose to 6P. Right? So it's really important, but this would also work too. However, jab does not work, right? Because why? Because a crouching attack will be the high attack, right? A crouching attack will be the high attack. That's the weakness of high attacks is crouching attacks, and the weakness of low attacks are things that kind of hop and attack, right? But 6P. This is why you see my Leon doing this all the time, because now if this jab whiffs, then this won't work. But as long as this jab touches you, as long as this jab touches the opponent, this 6P generally will work with the exception of 6 moves, right? Only 6, there's about 6 moves that are gonna, in general. There's also sabakis and paris and all that. We're gonna ignore those. But for basic attacks, there are 6 attacks in the game, 1 per character. That's going to beat this. Leon's jab, Pai's jab, high jab, right? And that's why this will work too. So you can do this against them if you're worried about it. But yeah, as long as the hit frames collide together, as long as they hit at the same time, then the higher damage wins. And that's why this 6P beats the low punch. They all do. They all have it. They all have a hop. They all do. They all have it. Why do they not always do it? Because they can be jabbed into a combo. Yeah, I mean, true is hard one to say, right? So this is why your 9K works, right? Your 9K beats me out of lows because it beats lows like this, right? So this is what you guys do when I low punch, right? Like this, right? That's crushing a low. This is what we call crushing a low attack. This attack gets into a hop, at least at +2, it's going to work against a low jab, right? Will it work at -5? I don't think so. Yeah, won't work at -5, right? What do I have? What does Vanessa have? I'm trying to see if Vanessa has something. Does Vanessa have like a -2? So. It's +2. That's kind of cool. So you can do this. You have to wait though. So, okay, actually, I want to show you something, Silverbolt, because this is very specific to you. Watch my command input. Now that you've seen some of this, okay? Now that you've seen some of this, I'm going to show you when you input too early. When you counter hit, they're stunned, okay? Sometimes the stun is a lot. This, okay. If I do, let's say, jab, elbow into throw, okay? That works. If I do throw, watch me do throw too early though. Nothing comes out. Too early. Too early. Too early. Has to be about this time, right? So this counter hit elbow has a lot of stun. So I've got to wait just a little bit. Not too much, just a little bit. But it's possible that I can do the throw way too early. Right? But this is a little different because it's low punch. However, on the flip side, let's say, but like let's say I want to do jab in the throw, I have to do it. I do it that fast, right? This is how fast I did jab in the throw. This is how fast I do low punch in the throw, really fast. But if I want to do, this jab elbow and then do it after the counter hit, sorry, I've got to wait a bit because if I do too fast, I can't. Right? This is the same speed as that low punch in the throw. I gotta wait a little bit because the stun is bigger than those 12 frames. That's not a frame stat I got anywhere. It's just knowing that that's the reason that I gotta wait before doing the throw, right? Because I gotta wait maybe 5 frames, and not 5 frames when I recover, just 5 frames after this hit, right? I've got to tell myself, don't throw too fast because that's what happens. This is when it feels like an input drop, but it's inputting too early, and those inputting too early can happen when you're playing offense stance. You might counter hit your opponent more. If you're counter hitting your opponent, you're gonna have then like there is a little bit of a wait to sometimes hit a button, right? So this is again too early, right? This one is I just double tap the throw, right? Input the throw tries. Yeah, use the frames help you in training mode. You can have a notebook. Refer to them just to answer yes or no. And then when you understand the yes, this works, no, that doesn't work, that's all you need to know in battle. You don't need to remember the numbers in battle. You just need to remember, does it work or does it not work in battle? And so some people the frames are something that they just use in the training mode. But like when they're actually playing, that they only needed to, you don't want to memorize too many numbers because then that will mental stack you alone. It's just more, but as you play the game, you can learn situation by situation. You just kind of add one situation a day will get you so many things that you won't realize. But a lot of times you'll learn like 5, or sometimes you're working on one situation for a month to master it. So at different paces for different things, but these numbers help you to get a yes or no answer, and sometimes that can resolve the feeling, but then the rest is how do I execute it, and it is hard because like this, what I'm showing you here is what, like, not input dropping, but that the stun is so big that I've got to wait before I input the throw. And yet for other characters, for other situations, I can, I can kind of throw a little like right more quickly, But this situation, this jab, elbow into throw, I have to actually wait. If I do jab, elbow, and then throw right away, like I said, nothing comes out, right? Watch me do a half circle forward throw too fast. That's too fast, right? Right? And I'm doing this after seeing that what the hit's gonna be. Like, right? And that one just barely caught in time, right? There is a trick though. You can do like, you can hold the last input and then hit the throw. So you can do like, right? So this is half circle forward, hold it, and then hit throw. So you can do that, right? Still hard, but you can do that. So here, this is using the technique of, I'm going to do half circle forward, I'm going to hold it, and then just press the P plus G a little later. You can actually do this to prolong an input, to prolong a command sequence, so that you don't miss, like don't input too early when you get this counter hit elbow, right? You can do it that way too. But it's better to just see it, that I've got to do it at this timing, whereas it didn't come out because it's too soon, right? Got to be like this, yeah. Strawberry's advice is pretty good. Learning when your character is plus really helps because in VF there's not many. Like every character only has like they don't have many on plus on block, right? And so that's a really good quick way to have that quick reference and know it, because then you get those out of the way and you kind of know. I think, well, Silverbolt has mostly like a Street Fighter experience, and Street Fighter is very interesting because Street Fighter, you cannot buffer normal attacks. You have to like when your character, like to do this sequence, I can't just buffer it, right? Like I'm buffering in VF, I can do this, right? Like, right? This is VF buffer here, right? So. Okay. I can't do that in Street Fighter. Street Fighter, you can only do that if the second move was a fireball. You can buffer special attacks. You can buffer fireballs, hurricane kicks. You can buffer those. You can buffer supers, but you cannot buffer normal attacks in Street Fighter. In most Street Fighter games. I think depends on the Street Fighter game, but most Street Fighter games, you cannot buffer the normal attacks, but some of them you can. Like I think it's like X-Men Street Fighter, like the Versus series. I think you can, but like the typical mainline Street Fighter games, a lot of them you can't. So what happens is you need to do this, and then like I've got to time this perfectly, and this would be actually kind of hard on Street Fighter, right? Except you can cut, certain chain combos. Yeah. But then if you did specials, you can do those. Supers, you can do those. And there's a lot of links in Street Fighter, so for combos, you gotta like you've got to time it really, really well. You've got a very tiny window. They show it to you now in the newer training modes, but you have a very tiny, very quick moment to hit the button. And so some people do a technique called plinking, where they basically, you can see how my punch is like plinked here, is a double tap, right? This is like, so plinking is something that can be done in some of the Street Fighter games. But in VF, you know, again, jab elbow. I mean, look at how quick that is. I'm putting my hands in the air, so you can see my hands do it before her elbow, before her 6-speed, right? like, all right. No problem. Thank you very much. Yeah. And this is still, this throw is still early, right? It's just, but oh, that's too early. But yeah. That said, thank you everybody for hearing us out. J Thor, thank you very much. I hope what I sent helps, but I'll send you a write up. And you know, Silverbolt, thank you for your patience. And everybody, Tricky, Nala, Paul, everyone, Jimmy, thank you all for your feedback. I love it. I think J Thor and Silverbolt can see that these really strong veterans and strong newer generation players like Paul, who's amazingly strong and yet has only been playing for a couple of years, about 3 years now, 2.5. Everyone's willing to help you. Everyone wants you to succeed because everybody wants more rivals. Everyone wants more people to fight and have these really exciting matches, and it's because everyone knows something about VF that is really true. One of the super true things about VF is that it only gets better. Like, it gets better the deeper you go into this game. It gets more and more fun the deeper you dive. Like, it's a game where you don't, yes, at a super high level you can feel constrained to really fight a very minimized risk type of fight, but it's still really intense, and it still can be all the other fights too. And it's a game that just keeps getting crazier and more intense, and that's why and so it's worthy of all our passions, right? So yeah, it's fun. And yeah, thank you everybody. Thank you very, very much. Was it the juice squeeze? Yeah, the juice. Yeah, squeezing the juice. Yeah, trying to get like the real pulp of VF, you know, and finding the truth. It's like real martial arts, like music. You keep doing it, and you feel like you're pursuing some kind of truth. Vanessa is very, yeah. She's one of those characters that feels so strong at first, and yet it's more that she's just very complicated. Yeah, she's very complicated. And so oh, I'm happy on it. I'm also Tricky. I'm really happy that you're feeling much better right now. Give you a big hug. So I'm excited to play again next week. So excited. Yeah, freshly squeezed from concentrate. It's juice is always good, and the more, you know, juice always tastes good. And VF, you really squeeze it dry as much as possible. This game, it does get more fun, and it can get more frustrating too. It does get more stressful. I think part of us like the stress, if we're being honest. I like the stress, but because I like the challenge, and but I also feel like improvement is obtainable. I can get there. I have the confidence that I always feel confident, especially in this game, that it's like, yeah, I can get there. I can do that. It's hard, but it's fun. So yeah, we're always here, happy to help. That said, everybody watch Assassin. I'm gonna raid Assassin. Assassin's playing right now, and I think the Colorado crew is another amazing group to watch. They've only been playing for about 3 years, and it's just been wonderful watching their journey. Alright, we're gonna raid KDQ Assassin. Thank you all so much for all your support. I hope to be on later, but I really gotta send my kids to bed right now. But this has been a real joy. And let's keep at it, let's keep training. And yeah, thank you for showing.